felt ordinarily we are not even supposed to react to him because Peter Obi now is a non-issue, is a non-starter. Already he has considered his presidential ambition to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Now he has become a second fiddle, but he needs to fight for the vice presidential ticket with Rotimi Amechi. And from what we are hearing, they have in a badway manner convinced him that he will be director general of the campaign to lead the movement, and that when they win election, Atiku will do one term, and then Peter Obi will come back to become president. Badway plus badway is equal to badway.
If you look at the interview with Mr. Peter Obi and those in the opposition coalition, they are of the opinion and their views are that this government lacks empathy. This government is wasteful. This government lacks the ability to be able to run this country right. I'm very sure that you watched that interview. And a lot of Nigerians will nod in the positive to what Mr. Peter Obi has said. How would he be able to defend what the government is doing in terms of the credibility in running the affairs of this country, in terms of cost of governance, the empathy that Mr. Peter Obi says this government lacks?
You know, I watched the interview. What I still find intriguing is that this coalition of internally displaced politicians have not been able to summon the courage and come with alternative facts, alternative policies, alternative programs. Throughout the interview you had with Peter Obi, what I find, and you ask him very salient questions relating to policy, to governance, to specific issues of governance that we have applied or we're applying, he has not, throughout the interview, been able to controvert or to counter or to disagree in the real sense of the word with the policies that we are implementing. For example, you ask him about fuel subsidy. He said he will remove it, and that what we did was not in an organized way, and he will do it in an organized manner. You ask him again, what do you mean, or how do you explain the way you will do it in an organized manner? He said he will remove the corruption in the subsidy before removing the subsidy. Absurdity. Actually, the corruption is in the subsidy. When you remove the subsidy, you remove the corruption. When you ask him a question about how to fix power, he said he will fix it. It's not rocket science. You say, okay, he should explain it. He said Egypt did it in 5 years. You ask him, okay, how will you explain it? He said Shewin is not rocket science. Was not able to answer. When he started raising this furious allegation about empathy, the question to ask is, and if you can look at it the world over, opposition political party try to not only talk but try to do what they feel the government is not doing. In all these places of crisis he's talking about, and all the places where he said empathy was needed and the president wasn't there, was he there? Were the teams there? Is their coalition? They have not, in the last 2 years, demonstrated to Nigerians that they actually care about the plight of the Nigerian people. They are rich in their rights. They have not used their money, their contacts, their understanding, they have not mobilized the Nigerian people in any respect. What they do is the minute there is a crisis, they issue press statements. So their greatest strength in opposition is issuance of press statement, but without a definite plan of what they will do. And you see what, Dr. Shaw? Everything they have been talking in the last few days that they will do when they take over power, we're already doing it. When you ask him question about investment, he said he believes in production and not in consumption. You ask him how will he govern Nigeria, he said he will invest in education. Okay, we're already investing in education. We have 300,000 people, indigent members of the society, who have access to because of the funds that is provided. We have invested that in human capital development that he talked about. And you see the increase of the minimum wage. You have seen living conditions, workers across Nigeria being touched. Meanwhile, when he was a governor in Anambra, it was during his time that he increased the school fees of non-medical students from 35,000 to 75, and for medical up to 125,000. That led to some people pulling out of school and some people unable to finish. There were strikes during his time as governor. In fact, when the university went on strike, he sacked the vice chancellor. It is during his time as governor that the hospitals in Anambra had to go on strike because he could not provide a good living condition for the medical people. And he started persecuting the people, preferring mission schools over government school. This is the same Peter Obi in our climb and in this generation to wake up one morning and come up with an idea like a clap of thunder out of a blue sky. There is this thing called badway. Sometimes you tend to think as if the Nigerian people are children. So whenever I listen to them about what they want to do, they have not been able to come up with it. Look at our policy, for example.
Let's take some of the issues one after the other. Right. There are litany of criticisms against this government in the wake of its 2 years anniversary or marking its 2 years in office. Mr. Peter Obi's comments is just one of those commentaries. But first, Mr. Peter Obi raised the issue about empathy. People died, and the issue about Mokwa, for example, and how the president is not being able to go on the ground. He says if he's elected president, he will go on the ground to such places. He says that kind of situation, wherever it is in the world, leaders will go on the ground, on the ground in that place. He mentioned the issue of people dying and the commissioning of bus station by the president. He says that is insensitive. He spoke about even the issue in Benue. The president could not go right to Yawata. The president only stayed in Makodi. These are the issues about empathy. And any leader who wants to lead the country, from Mr. Obi's reference, it should have empathy. Does it look like this government doesn't have concern for empathy for citizens?
Very dark man has more empathy than Peter Obi. He has not been, he's not a politician, but